All right, this first bill, of course, is a firearms bill because they can't stop trying to take your rights away with the firearms. This is SB 5963. All individuals who own a firearm in Washington must obtain and continually maintain a residential dwelling insurance policy that covers losses or damages resulting from the accidental or unintentional discharge of the firearm, including but not limited to property damage and death or injury to individuals who are classified as an insured person under the policy. Individuals who own firearms must keep valid and current written evidence of this insurance coverage at any location where a firearm is stored. In the event of the unintentional discharge of a firearm, insurers are not required to defend or indemnify the insured beyond the terms or limits of their policy. Residential dwelling policy means any personal line insurance policy that includes either property or general casualty coverage or both. Meant to provide insurance for a residence, including but not limited to homeowner, renter, condominium, mobile home, umbrella, and excess liability policies. Prior to the sale of a new residential dwelling or renewing a residential dwelling policy, surplus line brokers and insurance producers must ask whether any of the named or prospective insureds on the policy contract own a firearm. So, in essence, a registration. If the person responds affirmatively, the surplus line broker or insured producer must inform the person of the requirement to keep and maintain a residential dwelling policy that covers losses or damages resulting from the accidental discharge of a firearm, and must ask if the firearm or firearms are stored in a locking gun safe or secured with a trigger lock or similar device that is designed to prevent the unauthorized use or discharge of the firearm. Honestly, this is one of the most insane bills I've seen when it comes to the gun control wackos. Homeowners insurance policies don't generally cover firearms. Now, they may cover the loss of firearms if your home burns down or something, they're stolen. But I looked online, and generally speaking, homeowners insurance policies cover up to $2,500 when it comes to guns. What the state's asking here is for you to cover accidental discharge. And when it talks about, being able to file a claim if one of the insured is injured on the accidental discharge of a firearm, homeowners insurance will not cover that. When I looked that up, it said that you would have to have, since you cannot file a lawsuit against yourself, which is what it would require for a homeowner's insurance policy to pay on injuries from a accidental discharge, then it would go to your medical insurance to cover that sort of thing. Now, it may cover, and this is what generally the websites for insurance companies said, it may cover if you injure a neighbor or you shoot somebody in self-defense and they file a lawsuit against you because you didn't do a good enough job and make sure they were dead, or their family sues you, which guarantee that's going to happen. But again, it said that you would have to get an additional addendum to your policy to cover stuff like that. And generally, those policies start at $500,000 to $1 million of coverage. And of course, that's going to cost you a bunch of extra money. So they're trying to price you out of owning a gun. And at the same time, they're going to have the insurance companies at some point are going to be required to report to the state, which means this is a quasi-registration. Not that they don't already have these registration lists, because they do, but this is just another way to track you, to know what you've got, to try to get you on something to do with your gun because you don't have a policy or didn't keep it up to date or whatever. It's just another way to take you out, stop you from having a firearm, make it too expensive for you to have a firearm. This is a Second Amendment right. It's not a privilege. It's not something you have to pay for. It's not something you have to get a license or permission from the state for. It is a federal right, the second right of the Constitution of the United States. So obviously, the founding fathers felt like it was an important right, right behind free speech. And it's another way that they're trying to go after law-abiding citizens, make you a criminal for keeping guns and not telling them about it, having to report that you keep them in a safe or a trigger lock or whatever this, it's just disgusting that, they have no right to come into your home like this and dictate to you what you're going to do inside your home. And this isn't the only bill that comes in your home when it comes to guns. I talked about this last week with the federal firearm people who have businesses in their homes. They'll be required, if that bill passes, to have a camera that can be monitored inside their home. Once again, this is just the state. Instead of dealing with criminals and the people committing crimes with firearms, they are going after the law-abiding citizens. What part of shall not be infringed do you not understand?